Hi everyone, I'm Amanda, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use Blogger to create and set up your teacher blog, and then I'm going to show you how a student can leave a comment on your blog and a couple of different options that you have when working with Blogger. So the first thing I'm going to do is log into Blogger. You should have a Google account to log into this. And you'll notice that I already have one blog set up already. You can have as many blogs as you'd like with Blogger. What I would advise is to keep your blog simple, and then you can build off of that. If you're not comfortable working with blogging just yet, you may want to have one blog with your class name and then post all different topics in there. As you get comfortable, you can then move on to create several blogs. For instance, you could have a math blog and a reading blog. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on New Blog right here. And I'm going to title my blog. The next thing we have to do is fill in the address, and the address is how users will actually reach your blog. So this is that website address that they'll type in. If your blog name is already taken, so you'll see right here, this address is not available, it's going to give you this little message. You're going to have to then change your blog name. So I'll keep trying until I get a name that is available. Okay, so by typing in Mrs. Burns Technology, that is available, so I can go ahead and proceed. And you've got a couple of templates to choose from here. Don't worry about this too much. You can always go back and customize your blog. So I'll just choose this option here and click on Create Blog. Now you'll see I have two blogs here. This is the one we just created, and this is the old one I had. What we're going to do is we're going to create our first post. To create a post, you'll click on this pencil icon right here in orange. A post is generally the topic that you'd like your students to blog about. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is title my post. So this would really be like the topic or the question that you want them to blog about. So I'm going to say, what type of technology do you like to use in the classroom? And if you want to add things later on or change anything, you can always go back and change your post, which is really nice. Inside here, this is the body of my post. This is where you'll put any extra information. So you might want to put a description about your title here or instructions for the students. So I'm just going to type a little something up here. Okay. I can highlight my text and I can change my font. So I'm just going to change this to be a dark purple. And I can change my font size to be small or large. I can also insert links, add photos or videos, and I can change some of the formatting to be center aligned, bullets or numbering over here. If you look to the right, there are a couple of post settings. You can see right here we have labels. I've already applied the first label, technology, and let's add devices as well. And this is a quick way to categorize your post. So if a student looks at the label technology or devices, it'll take them to this post. I also have a schedule setting right here, which is really nice because I can set a date and time for when this post will appear. And I can just click on done. And then lastly, I'll show you there's options. And this is if you want to allow or not allow reader comments. So by general rule, comments are allowed, but you can change it so that they cannot comment on certain posts. So we'll just click on the Done button here. Now I can click on Save, and then I can come back and edit this post later, or I can click on Publish where we'll post it live to our blog. So I'm just going to click on Publish, and you'll see that in the post section here, it now shows me that I have one post. We're going to change some of the settings to our blog before we comment as a student. So the first thing I want you to do is come over on the left to Settings. And in the Posts and Comments section, we're going to look at a couple of things. The first thing here is show at most 7 posts on the main page. Now, if you like to show 1 post for homework each night, you can change this number to 1. If it doesn't matter to you, you can leave it at 7 or change the number. The next thing is who can comment. This gives us the option that only registered users can comment. You can then change that to say only users with Google accounts, only members of this blog, or anyone, which would include an anonymous mode. I like to leave it at registered users. The next most important option here is comment moderation. By default, it's set to never. We're going to turn it on to always, which means that before the student's posts will show on the blog, you have to moderate it first. You have the option here to get an email every time moderation is required, but you may get a lot of emails. So I'm going to leave this blank, but leave it on always, and I'll show you how we'll moderate that once we have a comment. You've got show word verification. We can do yes or no. So what that means is if the student wants to make a post, they have to verify that they are generally a human being and not a computer before they can make that post. By turning that off, that just means they don't have to go through that extra verification. So I'm going to click on Save Settings right up top here on the right. And if I go into the basic area of my settings, this is all of the information about your blog. So right here is your blog address. You're going to want to copy this address and paste it as a link on your website or in an email so students know exactly how to find you. After that, they can always type in this URL if they remember it. Underneath here we have blog authors. You can invite other people to author your blog, which means by typing in their Google address, they too can put posts onto this blog and moderate comments. For now, I'm just going to leave it at just myself. So I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to sign out of Blogger because the next step we want to do is act as if we're a student trying to leave a comment onto the blog. So you can see we have our blog set up here. Here's our first post, and here's the extra information we've left about it. If I'm looking at this page on the right, I have a blog archive. This will show me year and month, and then it'll show me the posts underneath. This is extremely helpful. If you post every single day, you're going to have a lot of different blog posts in October. So when I click on this, I can view all of the different blogs. I can also click on the year and see all the months that we've blogged in. In the About Me section, this is your basic Blogger profile, and you set this up the first time you log into Blogger and you just fill out some basic information. You have the option to sign up with a Google Plus account, which of course would have a lot more information about you. So I suggest when you do sign up, you use just the basic Blogger profile. So since I'm a student right now, what I'm going to do is click on the No Comments section. When I click on No Comments, it will give me the ability to post a comment. So you see I get this text box here. So I'm just going to leave a comment. And you'll see right here we have a Comment As box. When I pull this drop down, it's going to ask me who I want to comment as. I'm going to choose Google account and click on Publish. As soon as I click on Publish, it's going to ask me to log in. So you can see that we can't have any anonymous posts. We have to log in before we can publish this. I'm going to log in with a second account and show you exactly what it'll look like for the students. So you can see this is the first time logging into this account, and you'll probably get something similar when you first log in as well. And here's where I said you've got an option to do a Google Plus profile. If your school participates in Google Plus, feel free to go ahead with this route. My school doesn't, so we're going to go with the basic Blogger profile. So when I click right here, Create a Limited Blogger Profile, it's going to just ask me for my display name. Now, if you're teaching your students how to blog, you should suggest to them that they don't use their full name when creating a display name. So they may want to use just first name and last initial, or a nickname that they use in the classroom that the teacher will recognize. In the future, they can change their display name. So if they use a nickname this year, next year, they can change their name to be their first name and last initial. We just don't encourage that they put their full names out on the web. So I'm just going to leave our display name as Yorktown Blogger. And then you've got an option here to receive email notifications if you wish. I'm just going to uncheck this and continue to Blogger. Now when I continue, it says here your comment will be visible after approval. I'm going to retype my comment because I think it removed by mistake. You should have your comment here most of the time. And you can see the comment as now has my Yorktown Blogger name right here. If you chose to include that word verification, you would see what they call a CAPTCHA message here, where the students would have to type in what they see in the box before they can publish. I'm just going to click on Publish. And you see I get a message, your comment will be visible after approval. So what that means is that we do have moderation turned on, and my comment will not be visible until the teacher account approves it. So I'm going to sign out of this account and sign back into my teacher account. To do so, I can click on this B in the top left corner and then just sign in. Now you can see right here I have 2 comments awaiting moderation. When I click on this, it will show me the comments that need to be moderated. So you can see, I guess my old comment did actually go through after all. So I'm just going to publish one of these. By clicking on the checkbox, I can click on Publish, or I could delete or mark it as spam. If I had multiple comments in here, I could click on this checkbox right here, and it would highlight all of them. But since this is a duplicate request, I'm only going to do one. And then I'll click on this one and delete the other. So now if we go back to the left here, it says My Blogs. It takes me back to the 2 blogs that I have. I can click on View Blog and it'll show me exactly what my blog looks like. And you'll see now it says 1 comment. When I click on the 1 comment, it'll show me the comment that we left as that student account. You can reply to the other people's comments, and as the administrator of the blog, you can delete the comments straight from here. So we'll just click on Reply and leave a little message. And we'll publish that. And anytime that you leave a comment as the owner of the blog, you do not need to moderate your own comments, so they'll post right away. To get back to those blog settings, I'm going to click on this B right in the top corner again. And just to give you a little more information, the last published post was on October 28th, which is today, so that'll let you know every time that you make a post when it was published. You can also see we have 6 page views, so this is helpful to see how many people are actually looking at your blog. If I click on right here, it's going to give me a little bit more of an overview about my blog, so I can see how many published comments there are, how many page views there are, and how many posts we've created. If I want to add more posts, I can do it in multiple places. I can click on New Posts, or I can go back to my blog, or I can type on this pencil up here. So I've got a lot of different ways to add posts to my blog. Underneath the New Posts button here, these are some of those different settings I was showing you earlier. If you'd like to change the layout or the template of your blog, you're going to do it right over here. So if I click on Layout, I can really decide what gadgets I want to appear on my blog and where they go. And I can rearrange these and save my arrangement. If I want to change the template, I'll click on Template, and you can see we can scroll through here, and you've got several different templates that we can change to. I'm just going to go back to my blogs, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching my video on Blogger.